to the final interview, the final day, day 6 of the Global Happy Home Summit, where incredible people, incredible leaders and experts and professionals and practitioners from all over the world have gathered with me to support families like yours and people like you to still thrive and be okay, essentially, during these challenging times. So if you're jumping on, say hello and comment and ask any questions. I'd love to hear from you. And this afternoon, I have Ivonne Delaflor joining me. Hello, Ivonne.
Hi, everyone. So nice to be here. Such an honor to be here at this summit.
Thank you. So where are you joining us from, Ivonne?
I'm in Henderson, Nevada. It's almost 10 or 10 p.m. at the night, close to Las Vegas, 15 minutes away from Las Vegas. But I like to say that I'm outside of Las Vegas,
Okay. Yeah. Have you lived there long?
It's like for 5 years. Oh, the echo.
For 5 years. Yeah. Okay. Wonderful. So for those people that don't know you, Ivonne, would you mind sharing just who you are and what you get to do in this world?
Who am I? More I'll share who I am, what it does. I've been in the business of transformation, sustainable human transformation for more than 25 years now. I was so surprised how incredible that you are doing this summit at this age. I'm really feeling like an ancestor right now in your presence. But for more than 25 years, I've been in the spiritual leadership development community, been serving higher achievers for more than 20 years and spiritual entrepreneurs. I'm a certified family constellator, done family constellations for years, conscious parenting researcher, and personal power language trainee and trainer. I've been studying and certifying from all modalities for parenting. I'll focus on those since you are delivering this service for parents, of parent talk system, of words, how they words empower or wound our family and our children and our future. I'm the creator of a systemic system called Transcendental Rebirthing, which is really rebirthing people, helping them heal from trauma integration, shadow work, and also a trainer of trainers of a system called Futuring. Once you heal the trauma, once you integrate those shadows, now what do you do with your new self? How do you build up a new moment, a new now, with techniques and tools that help you move forward and thrive? So I'm really in the business of easiness, of sustainable human transformation. I'm the president of a company, Delaflor Teachings International, which is a spiritual and systemic coaching and consulting company for both spiritual entrepreneurs and high achievers and leadership training. So I'm a mom too. So, just to fit into the summit thing, I'm a mom of 3, being homeschooling for 17 years. So right now the situation in the world is not a new thing for me.
Yeah.
It has my children prepared for this moment. So they are being homeschooling. And I'm not sure how much you want to share, but who I am, I'm very devoted. I'm a very devoted person to humanity. This is who I am. What I do is what I share with you, how I show up as who I am, but very devoted to human transformation, to creating and designing futures, and a very committed mom at the same time.
Yeah, so beautiful. And I was just sharing with you before the call, but I feel like this is just, those of you watching, it's just the perfect way to end the summit, just really grounding down on what we have faith in, and coming really back to ourselves especially at the moment in an environment where we're very quick to go externally because we are fearful at the moment. So I feel like having faith in something or figuring out what we have faith in is a really important part of this time now and what we get to do. So Ivonne, in your eyes, what other than that, what are we being called to do right now for ourselves, but also for our children? you know, what is it that we get to discover about ourselves during this time of challenge?
Wow, what a powerful question. I love when, you know, I love to surround myself with smarter people. So this is one of those moments. I love that. Well, it's a great question. And so first I'm going to talk about faith. Faith has been my fuel since 7 years old. Faith was the gift, not of religion, the gift, not of belief systems, but the gift my mother gave me. Mm-hmm. And the reason I'm saying this is because it's one of the things that right now parents are being called to pass on the gifts of hope, of calmness, of solution orientation, of future orientation, and of presence to our children. Mm-hmm. Because the chaos that we're living in the world, which it was needed, because the challenge that it called us to rise up, and because of the fear, that is not that we are all in more fear, it's just that now fear has, for the first time in the history of mankind, just think about this, a stage where it can be shown publicly even more. Just feel that into a moment. It's like, instead of just repressing it behind a belief, behind a religion, behind that I shouldn't be fear or leadership or this or that, suddenly, for the first time in history, it's okay to have a global pandemic, globally be afraid, and give us space to fear and be seen. You cannot heal that which you cannot name and see. So faith is the antidote for such times like this. And when I talk to faith, I had to honor my mother, because you are in the Happy Global Summit, like for the families, right? And my mother gave this to me, and I hope this serves any parent that is watching this, because this is, those of you who know NLP, I'm also a practitioner of neuro-linguistic programs, and doing something called neuro-associative conditioning, which is you say a word and you do touch, which is we're in scarcity of touch right now in humanity, right? It's like, don't cough close to me, don't be around me. Like, okay, hi. You know, it's like, but my mother one day, they said, it was a very simple thing. I'm like, let's go to watch a movie. In Mexico, there were very long lines. And I'm like, I have faith, Mom, that we're going to find the tickets. I was 7. And we arrived, and when she was parking, a gentleman came, knocked at the window. Back then, this is how in Mexico we could see movies, and said, I gotta run. My family didn't arrive. I gotta go back to work. I have 3 tickets. I'll give them to you. And he gave it for her for free. And she turned around to me, grabbed my shoulder, and she said, you have such a strong faith. So I wanted to attribute that faith, that my mother gave me the gift of having such faith in my own faith, that she wired it in my soul. Obviously, afterwards, it was translated into the faith on religion. I was raised Catholic, then onto the faith of God, and then onto the faith of spiritual teachings that I was learning and imbuing myself in, or then faith in nature, faith in humanity. It has been growing. My faith has been growing, but has always been my fuel. And the most important discovery of faith, because this is the antidote for these times, is when I realized that people were living in scarcity and fear, not because they didn't believe in a higher power. Most of us believe in something. Either believe in a higher power, in God, in business, money, success. I need to be a mother. You believe in that. I want to be a successful man. You believe in that. But the belief in oneself is what was the most scarce and that was more wounded of all of them. To be able to believe that you are capable of rising in these circumstances. To be able to tell your children, even if you are afraid as a mother and as a father, you know, this too shall pass. Things will get better. And to trust in yourself more than anybody else can ever trust you. To believe in yourself in a way that I know, without an ounce of a doubt, that I may have fear in my mind. I may have beliefs that doesn't help me right now. But God, infinite intelligence, the creator, something greater, natural law, the universe, whatever you choose to believe, had to have faith on me. Because if not, I wouldn't exist. Yeah. So I matter.
Yeah.
And I may have made mistakes in the past. I may have fear right now, but my past and my fear does not determine my future.
Yeah.
So this fate restoration that I always speak of is the self-fate restoration, where you find really God in your heart, where you really find that courage as a mother, that leadership as a father, to become an adult and to become the leader of your family and a nurturing guide. So I hope this begins to answer that.
Yeah, it really does, Yvonne. How you word it is just, I mean, it's given me goosebumps. It's so beautiful how you've shared that. And so faith in oneself, I really love that you brought attention to that. That's the most scarce, or it has been the most scarce in your experience. So how is it that we begin to trust ourselves, or really start honoring ourselves and start seeing us as worthy of whatever it is in this world that we wish to achieve or wish to be? What do you find, is the next step to that?
What a great questions. I tell you that, you're putting such, I love this. My soul opens up with this. Well, to be able to talk about how to return to self-confidence, it's a return, right? Right now we're returning to the basics. And most of us all in the world, we're returning home. Yes. It's like coming back home and coming back. We cannot hide anymore from our shadow. We can hide from anything that we didn't want to address. We cannot put it under a carpet anymore. But more than to tell you how do we begin this process, is what do we remove for the process to emerge from us. Who we are is faith. We are not fear. Who we are is, we are the representatives of a greater power, of an incredible, intelligent mechanism. Again, call it the mind of God, call it the quantum field, call it the universe, God, sacred spirit. We are such created in that resemblance that what we require to do is something that I call the undoing. Mm-hmm. And the undoing is of 5 things that I have found every time they repeat. And I kind of change the 4th and the 5th depending on the feeling. But there's some that we really require to eradicate. And we require to build new habits for this. Number 1, because if not, faith is going to still be seen as a foreign thing. Or 2, faith will be depending on something else. This is an era for self-reliance. This is an era for resilience. And so the first thing is comparison. Mm-hmm. You comparing yourself with another. I usually put it on number 2, but today it came first for some reason. I'm going to trust that. Yeah. When you compare yourself with another, when you compare yourself with your mentor, with your boss, with your friend, with what others have been accomplishing in businesses, how many people are hustling right now and pivoting and getting ahead of the game, and all of that. When you compare, you lose yourself. The moment you compare yourself, you are out of the lane of you. You are out of the present moment. You are trying to become, this is crazy, but you're trying to become someone you are not. Yeah. And it costs you your health, yes, your mental stability, yes, your emotional intelligence, and your social intelligence. It will be the price you pay for trying to be like someone else. Yeah. Or for beating yourself up because, this speaker has already achieved that. Why haven't I? Mm. This businesswoman has already done this. Why haven't I done what she does? Mm. This man has these cars and these things. I'm a loser. It's the culprit of weeds, of lack of belief in ourselves that arises from comparing ourselves with others. It's just a spiritual disease. Yes. The only person, and this has been spoken by many of my mentors and many on the leadership world, it's the only person you need to be comparing yourself with is your old self. Who I was yesterday, who wants to open the eyes once I wake up the next morning. Do I want to be the complainer? Do I want to be the doubter? Do I want to be the mother that beats herself up because, oh my gosh, I couldn't play 2 hours with my kids. I only played 30 minutes. I feel so bad. Because mothers go through a lot of If we could put an echo out loud, all the things that go on in the moms' minds and hearts, and it will be like, whoa, you know, many movies will be arising from that story. But that's the only place when we need to compare ourselves. Did I move forward from that fear? Did today I woke up with faith? And not beating ourselves up because we haven't reached to be a certain level of perfection or image that we wanted to become. So comparison. And what I give this, and I'll give to you the example quickly, is one of the Olympians that he used to, Michael Phelps, he won so many gold medals in swimming years and years. He was the best. Yeah. And one day he's competing with another one that was considered the best. Yeah. But that other best was very much into, and I think he was Lucky. I don't remember the last name, but he was a lot into the image, a lot into what people will think. I am now the number one. And Michael Phelps just trained. They show up. They're going for the gold medal. And this for the gentlemen. They love this story in leadership, especially trainings. And Michael Phelps is focused. You get your line, right? You get your own lane in your own line. You can be like, jump wherever and see whenever. You know, you got to stay in your lane. And each had their own. And this is a picture. I don't remember if it's in Time magazine or in Life magazine that no longer exists. I don't even know if you know about Life magazine because you're so young compared to me, you know. But the picture of the cover, it changed it did something to me when I read this article, was just like a couple of seconds before arriving to see who was the gold or the silver. What I think Ryan Lochte was the other one. He was winning, but he did something once he was about to arrive. He turned his face off of his lane to look where Michael Phelps was going. Comparing. Where is the competition? Where is the enemy? Well, Michael Phelps, he just looked straight and he wanted it. It caused him the comparison. The distraction of his lane, which is another of the principles, it cost him his faith. So the first thing you do to restore your faith and your self-belief is like, avoid comparing yourself as much as possible. Okay. Number two, I'll give you three. Number two, when you are comparing yourself, usually that it's a culprit from doubt. Yeah. When you doubt your hunch, moms out there, we know exactly, like when the best advice I got when I got first pregnant, I called all my friends, all the mothers, and I'm like, what advice do you have? And she said, calm down, pay attention to your heart. Everyone is going to tell you, you need to do this, you need to be like that. Listen to your heart. And from there, learn from others, but listen to your heart. When we doubt ourselves, when we consistently keep going into our minds, the analytical mind, my dad says analysis equals paralysis. Yes. We try to be perfect. Yes. Then we sacrifice our own perfection through that process. We doubt our hunch, like, should I or not? Even though we knew since before, like, this is not good for my kid. It's not good for me at this moment. Like, I shouldn't say yes right now when I'm exhausted and what I really want is rest. I should ask for support, but no. I gotta be the powerful mother, the powerful father. I can't. I gotta be super mom. And it costs us not only doubt, it not only costs us our self-belief, it costs the belief that our children will inherit from us in themselves. Because if we cannot believe in ourselves, we may say to our child, you're amazing, you're super powerful. But if my mirror neurons, science, are like, Ivonne, you're a loser, you're the worst mother, you are so imperfect, you will never be able, and I have the voices of my past, the voices of my ancestors, the voice of the punishment of my mother, religion, my father, etc. You should be like that, you shouldn't be like that. It's going to cost the future for my children. Yes. So I'm giving you like something intense right now. I'm not sure. I hope it serves people. But so comparison, doubt, and I'll give you one more. Okay. because this is the process to that. You got to say an honest yes and an honest no as much as possible. Your no needs to be heard more often than what you are already using. Your no needs to be generous, and your yes needs to be really selective. No to be 10 hours on Instagram. No to hear the complaints of others just calling me. You probably have a lot of people reaching out to you because you are in a position of leadership now. You're in a position of being a young mother, which I pay tribute for what you are doing right now. But for what you are bringing, and you have a wise soul. What you're doing is a great contribution right now, contribution for the world. Because this is to bring harmony into the family. We got to be honest with ourselves. If the age of harmony stands for something, it will be personal honesty. And so we got to allow ourselves and re-educate ourselves, our family, our friends, our clients, that sometimes I'm going to say no to you. And it's not personal, but if I say yes to you when I feel no, I'm going to lie to you. And it's going to cost me my calmness. It's going to cost you your calmness too, and we are not going to trust each other, and we're going to start a codependent relationship of I please you, you please me. I give you something because you give me something, and we will stay on the surface, and we won't go deep in relationships. And to have a happy, harmonious home is the ability to say no often to even our children. No, we are not going to watch 10 hours of TV right now. And being okay, you choose to do a tantrum right now. That's perfect. You are in the age to do that. While mommy does the dishes. What? It's those, we got to be honest with our yes and our no.
Yes. Wow.
Because if not, we sacrifice our personal truth, our self-belief. Because how are we going to believe in ourselves? We got to lie to others to become a person that we think others want us to be.
Yes.
And that's where faith is restored, self-confidence is restored, avoid comparison, remove self-doubt as much as you can. And how do you do that? You surround yourself with great people.
Yes.
You create good environments. You pick yourself up when you fall. It's not a failure unless you stay down there. It's not a failure. It's just a step towards your greatness. Instead of just being great, it's another step towards your path to greatness. It's another step towards your path to harmony, and to understand that we're not perfect. That's what builds the perfection in a family. That's what allows us to welcome change, and that's what allows us to keep the faith going and allow faith to rule our homes and not fear to take over.
Yes. I'm so in love with everything that you're saying, Yvonne. And there is so much value in just what you've shared then. Incredible. Thank you. And I would love for people to know, you spoke about the rebirthing at the start. This is what you've created, and you're the founder. And I would love for people to understand what that means, and why should that be an option? Why do we need to go back and take part in something like that sometimes?
I'm going to say this one more time. You're asking the best questions I've heard this week, and I've had great interviews this week. Well, first of all, Transcendental Rebirthing came from a lot of years of struggle, personal health, falling into depression, my son being diagnosed with autism, my daughter also having a lot of challenges that ended up in anorexia. She almost died with an eating disorder. So this system was birthed through me after deep need for me to rise as a mother and to find solutions for the pain that my children were going through. Very, very, very challenging relationships, so many things, very convoluted system, which was reflected in the central nervous system of my daughter, on my son, and on myself. And so I started studying a lot of the shadow work with Peter Levine, and I started doing a lot of work of healthy bonding and therapy of attachment and healthy bonding and connection. And so I studied and did a lot of process for myself. Actually, I have the hours, like more than 800 something hours in attachment therapy, more than 1,000 something hours in shadow work. They give you your diploma, you do these hours, you do these hours.
Yes.
But when I was in that process, there was one of my mentors who did, I studied breath work too, which a lot of breath work, they do rebirthing. But I studied with a man, his name is Ray Castellino, that I want to pay tribute to, always pay tribute where you learn things from, which was healthy bonding and attachment. And he has a process, masterful process, which I was able to learn from and now integrated in Transcendental Rebirthing, called the surround womb, the womb surround. And a womb surround process, what it does, it's a healing of trauma, but it takes you back to before you were conceived. So you get to see what were the patterns of attachment, the belief, the social, psychological, and emotional data, belief systems that were already in place, waiting for you before you were conceived and you were born into your family system. This is called a system. And so what happened when you were conceived? What were the thoughts of your mother? What was the energy of the father? Were they in survival? Were their amygdalas enlarged that were so in survival? Were they be able to be present, to drop in? Parenting begins before conception and the moment you are conceived. That's why you get a mother and a father. So you're getting education as a child long before you're in the womb.
Yes.
Because the field is being built. So that's one part. So in Transcendental Rebirthing, I integrated that work, and then I became, acquainted with family constellations. And I did one after the other. When you do the work of constellation, it's now the uncle, now you begin to work with the trauma of the whole family tree.
Yeah. Okay.
And the deeper you go in that, the more the entanglements begin to untie. And the more space there is for you as a human being that was born in a system of trauma, that inherited the trauma or the alcoholism patterns of your father, the addictions or the withdrawal from your mother, the numbing of the family system, the matriarchal, the abuse, all of the things that our family went through or we went through too, our ancestral line, etc. Then, while you're in this process of the womb surround, you can reorganize. While you are creating, what I do, I create, and I mimic the womb. Transcendental Rebirthing, we literally create an environment where when you enter, even before you go in, you already feel like what's going on is preconception stage. Then you are conceived, then we work through that, and then you set your intention what you want to create and you rebirth. And the rebirthing literally takes you, it's a physical process. People, it's amazing, love. They will remember their fetal movements, but this time they will do it differently. They will birth themselves anew. And now they birth themselves with forgiveness, with understanding. They leave behind the trauma. They integrate it because there's a lot of trauma integration, like shaking and the cold, hot changes on the body temperature. There's a lot of new questions asked. There's a new language being developed. So it's like you leave the language of the trauma behind. You integrate it, you understand it, integration, and then you birth yourself anew. And then you are born into a clean slate. So why arriving to that if there's a lot of convolution in a family? If there's a lot of not understanding why I keep repeating the same patterns over and over again, I keep attracting alcoholic partners. And maybe you don't know that your grandfather died from that. Why I keep attracting people that they love me first and they keep rejecting me. This is a lot that happens with people that were in concentration camps.
Okay.
If someone was rejected, someone was separated from the family, you will carry that sense of separation until it's named, expressed, and given a right to exist. So the Transcendental Rebirthing system is actually a system with steps and principle. We have a 5-day physical, not anymore physical training. This is the first time in my life that I'm going to be doing it online. You know, it's going to be incredible for me to be able to do that. But it's a system that is replicable. And how I put it into a system, a manual that people can literally follow and do this work, is it's mimicked after natural law. Mm-hmm. You follow nature. What does it do when there is trauma? What happens to a lion when it's wounded? What happens with a zebra? What happens with a deer? What do they do? What happens with the change of seasons? So Transcendental Rebirthing is a system really for trauma integration, self-actualization, and personal transformation. Is the birthing yourself from the phoenix, you know, from the ashes of what you thought happened, of your fear, of your trauma, your lack of forgiveness to the terrible things that may have happened to you. And you are able to take that and leverage and create a new future for you and those you love.
Beautiful. Such a clear and beautiful explanation. Thank you. And you mentioned, Yvonne, that from there then comes the futuring aspect, you know, so yeah, so we've been given the clean slate. We've named and accepted the trauma, and then we've come out with the clean slate. And then, so what's the futuring? How do we create from there?
So, you know, I was already in this process and already creating the system and already rebirthing people and a breathwork practitioner and all of that. And suddenly I was invited to this training. They say, you know, we need a mother. And there were people from the FBI, policemen, and a mother. We need a mother to see how she does with it. So this is a system. I did not create this. I trained with one of the founders of this system, and how futuring came through. And I always like to share this because it helps people to have an imagery of what this is. When the Berlin Wall was still in place in East Berlin, right? There was the separation, two Germanys, it was called. And so the people that were on the side of the wall, they had a very gray existence, very dim existence. Socialism or communism, you know, it was like, they couldn't see their families. They were kind of trapped behind the wall. While the other side of Germany was growing exponentially, one of the most potent, countries in the world. Potency in business, in technology, you know, in excellence, in advancement, in progress. And so the time came for the Berlin Wall to fall. And what happened was the other side of Germany said, what are we going to do when we integrate East Berlin, you know, Berlin, into Germany? What are we going to do with the mindset of those people? They don't have a vision for the future. All their vision that they can see, and all of us, and I have an exercise of the personal Berlin Wall. They could see only the wall. They began to get conformed with their situation. This is going to happen a lot right now. A lot of people are going to think that this is, oh my gosh, I lost my job. The coronavirus is the wall right now for some, and the ladder for many. I do want to exalt the good, the great, and the faith in humanity, you know. But so they hired a businessman, a scientist, and a quantum physicist to create a system. They said, hey, we need you to create a system that can help East Germany to catch up quickly with who we are. Because if not, you know what happens. Have you ever been with that person that is so negative and complains and complains and complains, and they say they want to change, but they really don't want to? Yes. How do you feel like, oh, I have a migraine. Oh my gosh. And you keep feeling like, well, I don't know why I feel so heavy. I don't know why I feel dry. Wait, well, because the heaviness, the gravity of darkness, of the shadow not understood, of the work not done, it will pull you down. You know, that's why who you are with, the environment you surround yourself, it is contagious and it's important. Yes. And especially this environment. So they hire them and they design this system that is, how do you create futures, and what qualities of future are you going to create with your everyday choices, being present in the now. So futuring is not about a future that is out there. Futuring is being in the present moment and extending your now, being very mindful of being present now. But instead of going like, oh my gosh, the fear, oh my gosh, the virus is coming, oh my gosh, you know, we're all going to perish and die, oh my gosh, my mother was right, my religion was right, I'm a sinner, I'm guilty. That's creating my now from my past. So I'm creating my future, which is now. Right now, you and I are in a future that you created, love. I just entered a future that you created, a brilliant future. And I'll share with you. But you created this future, this possibility, and this moment, as soon as you click off this Zoom, it becomes a mutual past that we share. Incredible. And with ripples into the future. Yes. But what future in the system they created was the ability for people to remove their inner walls and create vision where there was no vision. Even if there were darkness, dimness, brightness, whatever that was, is how people could choose imagery, internal imagery, to be more present and create the future, from aspirations, from solution orientation, from faith instead of fear, and from being present in the here and now. So it's a great system. I love it. It's quantum physics based. It's imagery powers based. It's great for language. It's a lot about feeling into the future. You cannot think about it. You got to feel into it, because it's the white canvas. Yes. You got to paint it. You got to design it. And you got to faith. You got to have faith that it's going to come up. You got to make the assumption that what you pray for, what you are designing for, it's already here with you.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. That's very clear. And it's all in the feeling, And so I'd love to move on, Ivonne, to the family frameworks and work that you mentioned at the start. So can you share with us, what you feel is important in that? You will know what is worth mentioning. You're the expert in that. So can you share, what's really going to help families at the moment, but, in general, because I believe that it's not just for now, it's for after as well.
Yes. So one of the most important things right now, it is your language, how you speak. How you speak, how you think, and how you act. But your words do create environments, energetic realities. And the more personal power you can have in your language, the more choice-oriented, rather than I have to, I should, we should have been, we need to be, the more you can change those words or eradicate them from your speech with the word choice,
yes,
the faster you will move forward with your family. And the faster you will be able to model to your children, you can choose this now or that. You will be able to give them options. Not, the only challenge that I have with this is that many of us, especially me, that I started this 20 years ago with this conscious movement of parenting, we gotta remember as parents that we are the parents, they are the children. My daughter is not my friend. She's my daughter. She has friends. I'm here not to be her friend or her daughter. I'm here to be her mother. So number one, conscious language is so important. And Zoe, she's training in something great that is called Parent Talk. So very soon she's going to be able to deliver it in Australia. I trained with the creator of that system called Chick Mormon. An incredible resource right now for your parents is one book. I hope he sells it yet still. It's called Talk Sense to Yourself.
Okay.
It will change your inner life.
Okay.
It will change. Your children are going to be doing tantrums, and the moment you speak that way that he's suggesting, they're going to stop like, is there something wrong with you, Mom? You were supposed to react right now. You'll be like, I see you're choosing to do a tantrum. It becomes very robotical. First it's like, I see you are choosing to do a tantrum. But once it clicks in, this is how we speak, my children and I. And it's not always perfect, but it's far much more empowering. And why do I say that language is important right now? Because the news, the schools, society, it's putting in an idolatry the language of fear right now.
Yeah.
It's terrible. We're dying. Actually, the numbers of people recovering right now are higher. Number two, the level of peace that we have in humanity, it's the numbers. I have a podcast coming out that is free, is bilingual, of an expert on this, on numbers, on research of peace, on nonviolence. He's about to come, I think in May or April, is because I pre-record my podcast. But the numbers of the great are so big. But we have put in a pedestal, we have put in idolatry, fear. So we need to change the way we speak. into our partners, to our wife, to our husband, to our children.
Yes.
Number one, that's that. So, and a great resource is Toxins to Yourself by Chick Mormon. Number two, relationships need to come first. For the children to feel safe, mom, you gotta come first. Dad, you gotta come first. Dad, please don't be a second mom. Mom, please don't be a second dad. And this is controversial because some moms are, single mothers. I am a single mother right now, and I'm in charge of my son and of the, of financial and everything. But I know I'm a single mother physically, but he still has his father. I'm my former husband. I'm co-parenting and still in charge of certain areas. But you got to put yourself first, not in an egotistical way, not in a way that the well-being of your kids is damaged. You got to, this is like the paradoxical, but you got to put your mask first. Right now, everybody's wearing masks.
Yeah.
Now you got to put your oxygen mask first.
Yes.
Because your children will learn to honor themselves as you honor you.
Yes.
Number two, between relationships, nourish each other, nurture each other. This is not my area of expertise, though. There's an incredible doctor in the United States. Her name is Dr. Jean Fritsch. She has a genius and magic to help relationships. I have not met someone else like hers right now. She has the ability to see like an X-ray, like, oh, you just got to add this word. You just got to hug her in the morning. You just got to be quiet when he's little stressed 15 minutes per day. It's just such little tweaks. Now we think sometimes that, oh, I'm gonna leave you if you don't change this. Oh, you're a woman that doesn't understand me. That language is not going to help the harmony of the family at all. We got to repattern the way we communicate with each other. That's in relationship and with our children. I go back to this. Have them be the child and you the mother. We had our turn to be the child. This is our turn to be the mature adult. This is our turn to be, for you are a young mother. Me, I'm in regards to you, I'm much older. I'm like almost 2 generations forward. So I'm an ancestor of yours. So I feel more of a duty right now with you to pass on this wisdom because you're such a present, entrepreneur and guide for so many already at that age. I remember when I started at that age, I was trying just to get out of depression, with that diagnosis on my son. So this is a moment where we need to take our place as a mother, as a father, as a wife and a husband, as a leader, as a teacher. It's going to demand a lot of us these times. Yes. But I'm going to leave you with something. And this is a book that I want to recommend that is the opposite of all, not the opposite, it's complementary of conscious parenting and meditation and mindfulness. Is one of my mentors that I have right now. The book is called Relentless.
Okay.
It's brutal of truth.
They're the best one.
He was the mentor of Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan, basketball players. He's my mentor right now. His name is Tim Grover, one of my mentors. And the way he approaches mindset, I think for a happy, harmonious family right now, it's not to use it against each other, because that's with consciousness. Sometimes we use it as weapons like, oh, we got to choose this, or like, this is for you to know yourself more in these times of great challenge, to have more faith in yourself, self-belief, be resilient. And so these are my recommendations right now, to have harmony in the family, personal power language, time for yourself, nurture yourself, both moms and fathers, and also children will need that space now. Be in your place as a wife with your husband, as a mother with your children. Don't be a teenager when you're a mom of your daughter. If your daughter is a teenager, she's got the right to be a teenager. You got the right to be a mature woman. Stay in your lane.
Yes.
Have faith in yourself. I'm a believer that things can only get better. If we really flow in these times and we take pressure, this is what my mentor says, pressure as a privilege and not as a defeat of our life.
Wow. What a change of perspective on pressure. Wow. Thank you, Ivonne. Your words are just magical. They really are. And I'm mindful we're wrapping up soon, and
Yes.
I could listen to you for so long. But is there anything that we haven't touched on, Ivonne, that you feel needs to be shared or said to any families watching?
Well, because we spoke about faith,
Mm,
and I don't want to go religious, because I do respect every religion, every belief has the right to exist. But I will say, in the mystical world and the spiritual world, don't forget to pray. Don't underestimate the power of the invisible right now.
mm,
Don't put all your power into what you see.
mm,
Believe in the same nature that birthed you,
yeah,
that created for you a mother, that created this earth. There's an infinite intelligence carrying you. We all are being guided.
mm,
We all are being nurtured. I was dead once. I had a near-death experience at 17, and I came back to life. I almost lost an arm, a leg, walk, etc., etc. And I was dead for a couple of seconds. And I tell you, I have never felt so alive as in this moment and that moment. I know that we're being cared for, loved for. So trust whatever it is your belief. Trust that this higher power will move you forward. Give your faith to that. And if you cannot have faith because you are going through challenging times, say God, or person that believes in me, or Yvonne, or whoever it is that I'm gonna borrow your faith right now. I don't have it. Borrow it from the infinite divine intelligent field. Borrow it from the quantum field, because it will never leave you alone. We will get through this, because that's just natural law. This is how the universe works.
Yes, yes. What a perfect finish. What perfect words to finish on for everyone watching, including myself. It's so beautiful. I like to finish with two questions, Yvonne. So the first question is, what have been the opportunities and the beautiful experiences or moments that have come forward as a result of all of this craziness in the past few weeks that might not have existed? We're often focusing on what it's doing to us. However, what have been the opportunities that have been created out of this experience for you in your life?
Okay. Well, for me, I wanted to be a public speaker. I tell you, I haven't stopped being in summits and interviews right now. My imagination, they say once you make a plan, God laughs at your plans, and the plans of God are better than yours.
Yes.
I never imagined I will be speaking this much.
Yes.
I was in my plans. So that's one.
Yes.
The opportunity to be more of service. And number two, I have, for me, the opportunities right now, because I have this mastery of my central nervous system. That was a gift from a near-death experience, a gift from depression, a gift from my shadow, my darkness, moments of deep isolation, of death, so much. It's given me an opportunity to bring that calmness to so many leaders, because they will need the nourishment right now. They need the nourishment, just like you, that you see, this is the people I serve. I serve people that are reaching the masses. It is my duty to be that calm, to be that where people can borrow. I don't trust myself. Don't worry. I got you. Let me be that shadow for you. Let me be that. I'll loan you my faith on yourself right now. I have this opportunity, and I have, I'm also able to see the opportunities that are rising for people. And so we all have the opportunities. We just got to actually be still. There's a Bible quote. I don't want to go religious, but Bible quote says, "Be still and know that I am." This is the time. Be still in the midst of your chaos. Find moments of solitude. This is how all of my new programs, all the things I'm serving right now are emerging from. I'm just saying yes to. It's like your beautiful offering for me to be here. I'm so honored to be here with you. You're such a wise woman, and your community and the frequencies it just gives me so much hope for the future of my children. Because you know what? I'm an elder for you, but you are leading my children right now. My oldest is 21. So you represent the teacher that she's going to look for into her future. So it's given me the opportunities to meet with much higher frequency people right now,
Sure.
to create synergy and collaborations that were not possible before, and to invest on myself more. So I just double down on me with mentors too, so I can serve people in a much better form too.
Magical, because yes, now is the time to do it. You know, beautiful opportunity to do that, to invest in ourselves and the growth of ourselves. And the final question, Ivonne, is what does a happy home look and feel like to you?
Okay, I have one principle of my teacher, Chick Mormon. A house that is not messy is not a happy home.
Yes.
And the first principle, there's a book called The 10 Commitments, the 10 Parenting Commitments. Okay. And the number one, it's experience can be messy. A happy home is a home full with forgiveness, with forgetfulness, with when you are up and someone in your family is down, tell them, I got you. When you are down and someone else is up, tell them, please, I may not be strong all the time. If you see me fall, please catch me. To tell your children when they're in tantrums, even if it's like so hard for you, I got you, and everything will get better. That's a happy home, a home where people are allowed to be themselves, a home where diversity is welcome, the same as unity. A home where, you know, it's just like eating a good salad with all the nutrients. Dense nutrition has to have all the colors of the rainbow, right? All the vegetables and the colors. A family that abides by rules is not a family, it's just a system. A family that allows love in becomes a harmonious family, because no matter the challenge or the hardship, the natural law and natural flow will bring you back to harmony all of the time and will increase the love within. So that's a happy home for me. I understood it after divorce. So I pass this on to you, to everyone, and to everyone that is young in relationship, in coupleship, even if you are divorced and you are just new to this, you know, it will get better. Just allow diversity, and the mess, it's okay that it's there. We can clean it up together, and we will. This is what we're doing right now as a human family, as the collective.
Yes, yes. Ivonne, your words have just touched my heart and soul so much this afternoon. Really, I can thank you is not even a word that can express how grateful I am to hear your words today. And I would love for people to be able to know where to reach you if they feel called also to find out some more about you and the work that you do.
Thank you. So they can, you know, they can always reach to me through social media. I have right now a beautiful lady that you've been talking to, you know, is younger than you, that she'll respond for me right now. But it's in Instagram as Ivonne, the little, look at me, I'm so like, underscore, thank you. Yeah. Ivonne _Delaflor, my name, Twitter, Ivonne Delaflor, LinkedIn, Ivonne Delaflor, Facebook, Ivonne Delaflor. Also my website, delaflorteachings.com. That's my company, the spiritual and systemic consulting, coaching and consulting company. And or send me an email at Ivonne@delaflorteachings.com.
Okay. Beautiful. And for those of you watching, you know, let us know what is your biggest takeaway through this. Mine have been many. And I just feel really calm and at peace right now. And that's what you bring to the world. And I can feel and see that, Ivonne. And I really feel close to tears and just how beautiful your energy has been this afternoon. Thank you for staying up late for us. And really grateful to have connected with you.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. It's a moral duty. Once you are living your mission, it's a moral duty. You know, that's what you say yes to. Thank you, Angel.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye, everybody.